The illusion of stability. We've all been told that if we just follow the right steps, we'll achieve financial success. Save regularly, invest wisely, cut out unnecessary expenses. It sounds simple enough, right? But when life throws a curveball, even the most well-laid plans can unravel. The truth is, the idea of financial security is often just an illusion. And when the unexpected happens, many of us realize that our foundation was built on shaky ground. You might have a steady job, an emergency fund, and a seemingly secure life. But how prepared are you if something goes wrong? Let's take a closer look at how quickly things can spiral, and why surviving isn't enough. You need a new strategy to thrive. The comfort trap. How we fall into financial complacency. For many people, the pursuit of comfort is the ultimate goal. We're taught that the best way to live is to keep things stable. Get a stable job, buy a home, own a car, and keep things predictable. But what happens when those comforts become your limits? Consider a couple, Emily and Jack, who seem to have everything figured out. They had their dream house, 2 new cars, and a growing family. But when Jack unexpectedly lost his job, everything changed. The house became a burden. The cars became more expensive than they could afford, and suddenly their lives were on hold. The problem wasn't that they didn't try hard enough. The problem was their approach. They'd bought into the awesome idea that comfort, success. They didn't have a strategy for dealing with the unexpected. They didn't plan for what could go wrong, and when it did, they were caught unprepared. The cycle of just enough. Most financial advice centers around a simple equation. Earn more, spend less. Sure, this sounds reasonable, but in practice, it doesn't always lead to lasting security. Jack and Emily cut their costs, but still found themselves sinking deeper because they didn't have enough saved or invested to make up for the unexpected job loss. They didn't plan for a rainy day and a storm. Here's the reality. Surviving through cutting back isn't the same as building wealth. It's simply holding things together. But at some point, merely getting by doesn't cut it anymore. Eventually, you have to ask yourself, am I just surviving or am I growing? Shifting from short-term solutions to long-term strategy. When everything starts to fall apart, the natural instinct is to hunker down and reduce everything to the bare minimum. But that approach has its limits. When Emily and Jack began asking themselves hard questions about their financial situation, they realized they had to shift their mindset. Their goal wasn't just to save a little bit more or to cut out a few luxuries. They needed to rethink their entire financial strategy from the ground up. They shifted from focusing on survival to focusing on sustainability and growth. This meant thinking about their money as something that needed to work for them, rather than just holding on to what they already had. Breaking the cycle. How to think beyond your current situation. Most of us have been conditioned to think about money in terms of what we can afford now. We work hard, pay our bills, and live for today. But true financial growth requires thinking about tomorrow, and the day after that, and the years ahead. The first step is to understand that your current choices set the stage for your future. When Jack and Emily began rethinking their strategy, they realized that they could no longer continue on autopilot. They had to move beyond short-term survival mode and begin prioritizing long-term sustainability. The secret to financial growth. Building a plan with flexibility. As Emily and Jack started exploring how to grow their finances, they focused on a flexible yet reliable plan. They didn't just save. They invested in their future with a diversified portfolio, balancing between low-risk assets and calculated investments. They realized that smart investments are the only way to grow their wealth beyond the limits of their immediate income. The idea isn't to gamble with your money, but rather to make intentional, well-researched decisions that will give you more flexibility down the road. The challenge here isn't about taking risks, It's about making informed, sustainable choices that set you up for a better future. How to break free from financial uncertainty. Building long-term financial stability requires reliable habits and the right mindset. Here are some actionable steps to shift your thinking from survival to growth. Rethink your spending priorities. Take an honest look at where your money is going. Are your purchases contributing to your long-term goals, or are they just helping you stay comfortable in the short term? Save with a purpose. Saving isn't just about cutting costs. It's about building a reserve for future opportunities. Consider investing your savings in low-risk, long-term strategies that will pay off in the future. Invest in financial literacy. The more you understand how money works, the better equipped you'll be to make decisions that align with your long-term goals. Learn the basics of investing, financial planning, and even simple budgeting. Prepare for the unexpected. Life will throw curveballs your way. Job loss, emergencies, health issues. By having a clear strategy for dealing with the unexpected, you'll be able to weather any storm that comes your way. Plan for flexibility. Your financial plan should never be rigid. It should have room to adapt as circumstances change. The key is to create a strategy that keeps you on track, no matter what life throws at you. Conclusion. A new approach to money. We live in a world where security is an illusion, and true financial success comes from being prepared for the unexpected. The traditional path of earning more, spending less, and saving is a good start, but it's only part of the equation. To truly thrive, you need a strategy that combines smart investments, financial flexibility, and a commitment to long-term growth. Building a sustainable future doesn't happen overnight. It requires a shift in how we think about money, work, and planning for the future. But when you break free from the cycle of surviving and start thinking about long-term growth, you'll have the foundation to build a financially secure future, no matter what life throws your way.